Hey everybody, welcome and thank you for tuning in to The Skeptic and the Psychic with Shay Carroll and Psychic Gen B. Come join us every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast by the host and or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of the host and or Paranormal Buzz Radio and or its sponsors. Use of any material produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is prohibited. Paranormal Buzz Radio will not be held responsible for you holding your knees, crying, and rocking in a corner in a puddle of your own urine, or being beheaded by a group of children in a cornfield. In fact, if you come across a group of children in a cornfield, we promise to make fun of you as you run away screaming in terror. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello everybody, welcome to The Skeptic and the Psychic, or The Skeptic and the Psycho, or The Psycho and this... I know, you always mark me as Psycho twice. The Psycho and...
Carrie's trying not to laugh. Can you hear her?
Say The Psychic and the Psycho, because the other way just doesn't make sense to me, guys.
I don't know.
I'm on tonight, so, Psycho fits.
I just say, Psycho times 3. There we go.
Hey, speak for yourselves. So Shay's dog has churros, and she has to take her dog out.
Yeah, so I'll miss the beginning. But there you go. You guys have fun.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll be back. Anybody that doesn't know, this is Kerry from Spirit Trackers in New Hampshire. We've investigated quite a few times, and she was been on Shay's Paranormal Chat, but this is the first time they're meeting, and I'm leaving it to the gods that they get along. So there you go. It's
well, the goddesses will see that it happens.
Goddesses, yes.
Whatever. Okay. We'll go with that, so.
You know me, I get along with pretty much anybody.
Yeah. Here you go, guys. I'll be right back.
Nicole, she said she's already taken that dog out twice, but poor Kiki, she's got like lead belly or something right now, so she's got the churros pretty bad.
Oh, yeah. Poor thing.
Yep. So, Kerry, we always like to say hi to everybody as soon as we start, just in case we forget to say it. And we say that, yet we never forget to say it at the end. And we always tend to interrupt in the middle to say hi for when new people pop in. But let's stick with tradition. So, Nicole is the first in the chat. And then there's Shay. Yay! And then Kerry, you're there. And then there's me. And then there's Miss Kim, who is joining our network. So I'm pretty excited about that. We have Matt in chat. And then we have a friend of yours, Manny Mo. And I'm dying to tell Manny Mo that I have a cat named Jack. He comes with a sister named Jill, though. So
okay, well, that makes sense. Oh, man. My friend Manny, he's very supportive of everything, and he's like, remind me that you're on tonight. He's like, I want to make sure I listen and support you. So I was like, yeah, he deserves a big shout out because he's a great friend. He's awesome. He won't go out ghost hunting with me, but that's okay.
I was actually going to ask you that if he investigates with you. He's afraid of the cucuys?
Probably, yeah. I think he's afraid something might touch him. But he always loves to listen to the stories, and he very supportive. He's an awesome friend. I don't know what I'd do without him in my life. So
he's on the verge of joining you. If he's like down and wanting to hear your stories, I feel like he's getting close to,
as long as we go during the day, he's down. Have to go during the day.
Well,
he won't go at night.
Well, ghosts don't just haunt at night. They're around all the time.
Oh, I know. I've actually had experiences in broad daylight, so I know what they're around. But the most fun is at night. It's just creepier sometimes.
Yeah, honestly, I think that people get into the paranormal field because they are interested in all those aspects, but then there's that little bit of I want to, to have the shit scared out of me in the dark room aspect as well.
Exactly.
It's the thrill.
Oh, it definitely. I've had, my first paranormal experience is when my daughter was little, and it was actually at night and still scared the shit out of me, so. She told me she was like 4. I was pregnant with my other daughter, and she's like, "Mommy, there's a ghost in my room." And I always told her, "No such thing. You're watching too much Scooby-Doo." She was 4. I'm like, I'm not going to explain this to her. And she swore, "No, Mom, there's a ghost in my room." She said, "Can I sleep on the couch?" Said, "Go ahead, Michelle." And we close the door to her room, and there's like a cold breeze coming out from underneath, and we had the heat on. We're in Florida.
Oh, shit.
And freezing coming out. So a couple of days later, we're at my mom's house, and I have a great aunt that passed away when she was 8. And my daughter sees the picture, and she goes, "I know her. She plays in my room at night."
Oh, damn. So no more trying to convince your daughter that she's watching too much Scooby-Doo.
Exactly. She's 20 now, and she still remembers this.
Wow, that is so cool. I have a 20-year-old as well.
Oh, nice.
That's so cool. I'm just like, wow.
That was one of them. That was just, and the picture we'd always had hanging up, and she still asks, she's like, "Is Aunt Gwenny still watching over me?" I'm like, "I'm pretty sure she's your guardian angel."
Aw, that's really cool. So is that what got you into wanting to research and investigate the paranormal, or was it something before that?
I've always had experiences most of my life. Had a lot start when I was like 18. I knew my grandmother was around. I could just feel her. And I remember asking my mom, there's this like really strong fly. And I described the perfume smell to her. She's like, that's your great grandmother. She's like, that's like she would wear. And it was like, okay. And then just weird things kind of happened throughout my life. And I just got more and more interested in wanting to find out why, are people still here? Am I being watched? And just wanting answers. So
the answer is yes, you are being watched.
Then the older I've gotten, the more I want to know.
I swear to God, every public restroom I go in, there is a creepy ghost in there or a creepy spirit, and I'm just like, every time I'm sitting there going, why? Why the bathroom?
Restrooms?
Yeah, why? Oh my God, the Walmart and Target and I swear to God, every single Lowe's I have been in, there's been something in the bathroom. All 3 of those stores. It's just weird.
That's why. I mean, I'm sorry if I die. That is not where I want to hang out.
That's what I'm saying too. It's
I got people to go haunt. I'm not going to hang out in a restroom.
Yeah, exactly. If you're going to watch somebody pee, why don't you pick somebody famous?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, the last place I'm going to go hang out is, in a restroom at Target or Walmart. I don't even want to go there when I'm alive.
I'm with you on that. So you've had experiences your whole life. You've had experiences with your daughter. What was it? So, okay, let me start. How long have you been officially investigating?
I've had my own team now for 2 years. I've worked with other teams previously. And then kind of did a lot of my own things before I even understood equipment and things like that.
Mhm.
Just we'd use recorders on my phone and walk into like abandoned buildings and stuff. And I was doing that as a teenager. So
Yeah,
but
nice.
didn't start doing anything serious until probably last 5-10 years, something like that. But I've had my own team for the last 2, so.
Okay, well then what made you take that leap into from I'm going to, I'm just, here's an abandoned building, I'm going to check it out because I'm getting a vibe from it, to, all right, I'm going to be a full-fledged investigator. I'm going to start, getting equipment, start, educating myself on this. I mean, what made you take that leap?
I had worked with other teams, and they're awesome teams, and I just decided after a while, I was like, okay, no, I need to figure this out myself. I'm like, I had answers and I had questions and they weren't being answered. And I'm like, I knew that I could probably do a lot more on my own. There were things I wanted to do. So I just kind of said, you know what, I'm going to do this. And I had a lot of support from a lot of friends and stuff. So they're like, yeah, go for it. You can do this. So, and it's
nice.
I've always been into, and it was one of those, it was like, all right, yeah, this is what and it's a lot of the teams I work for that, they were like, well, you don't really know what you're doing. And I'm like, but I do. I'm like, I've learned a lot from, the people I have worked with. So,
right.
And it's a learning experience. I learn something new about the paranormal all the time. It's like,
yeah. And the more teams that you work with, the more investigators you meet, I mean, you guys get to exchange knowledge. And people say para-unity. Like, I hear people, I say, I've never experienced this. I've heard some kind of, para-unity isn't a real thing. But yet, every paranormal investigator, I mean, I don't know if it's because I don't do it, so I don't see any kind of backbiting or anything. But, like, you have your own team. Shay and Nicole have Cis Paranormal, yet you guys work together all the time, right?
Oh, yeah. And they're probably one of my favorite teams to work with.
Yeah. She's only saying that because she's on the show.
No, she knows for a fact I love working with them. But I've learned a lot from Shay and Nicole. They're awesome.
We learn a lot from each other because all three of us, and I have to say this is 1,000% honest. All three of us have not only different beliefs, but we have different theories. We have different techniques. We sometimes go about things differently, but we're all open-minded enough that we don't have egos. We love learning from people. We love well, I don't love communicating, but we love but we just love taking things to a new level, and we're willing to try stuff, and she's willing to try stuff, and we don't get butthurt easily. So it was a very easy fit. Like, as long as you leave the ego out of it, you can work with somebody.
Right.
If you don't
can't
agree,
have ego
if you don't believe,
field.
oh well, yeah. And never mind that, but we all get along great, and we're quite similar, and not always in a good way.
That's scary. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, and Nicole even said everyone does things differently too, so it's neat to see what other investigators are doing.
Yeah, as long as you don't have an ego, and that's where the para-unity comes into play. If you have this huge ego and your shit don't stink, then you're not going to have para-unity. You're not going to be able to work with other teams. You have to be open to trying other things, even if you don't agree. Talk about it, discuss it, have an open conversation.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely, and that's what we do.
Yeah.
And like Nicole said, we had an instant connection, which it was. It's like I've known you guys longer than I actually have.
Dude, the first time we met, we were wearing this. All three of us were wearing the same exact sneakers, same color, everything.
Yep.
Wow. There's no such thing as coincidence, in my opinion. And you know what? I would say that even if you don't agree with somebody's theory, hearing it is still going to make you think. It's still going to make you want to discover. Yeah.
Or it should. It doesn't always, but it should. It should lead to that.
But yeah, in this field, you can't have an ego. You can't. I mean, everybody is looking for the same thing, but there are some people that just have huge egos and are just, they have all the answers nobody else does, and no.
Which is kind of how we met, and we'll leave that there.
Exactly.
Well, and a lot, it's not just about paranormal investigators. You run into those kind of people all the time.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah. But
I work in retail.
There you go.
In the little, I don't know how to word this. I have to be very careful how and what I say here. So people read
Shay, careful.
Yeah, this I do have to be careful about. Sometimes the people screaming paranormal unity the loudest have the biggest egos, but you're meant to meet them to be introduced to other things. So just take, I'm trying here, guys, because let me tell you. So, every bad situation, try to take something good out of it. And bad situation, we took Kerry out of it, and she took us out of it. Can we say that?
Yeah. Well, every situation is an opportunity. You can choose to see the good, or you can choose to see the bad. And it sounds like the three of you chose to see the good and meet each other. So I think that's amazing.
We don't meet people by accident. There's a reason that we meet the people we do in our lives, and some of them stay around, some of them don't. Yeah. I'm lucky enough to have Shay and Nicole that like hanging out with me. So.
Some of my favorite investigations, whether you collect data, whether stuff happened or not, was when it was Nicole, myself, Kerry, and my mother. That I remember that one in particular, and it was just great. It was just like, okay, here we go, So.
Yeah, we certainly have a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kerry, I do want to ask you more about places you've investigated, but I also learned something new about you before the show started. So you are a solitary practitioner of Wicca.
Yes.
How long have you been doing that?
Since I was 16.
Perfect. And what introduced you to that? What drew you to that?
Well, growing up, my parents let me go to every different church, and I've been to temple, I've been to Catholic church, I've been to Protestant, and it was just, none of them made sense to me. I just was, I don't know, it doesn't, going to a building on a Sunday, getting dressed, it didn't make sense to me. And a friend of mine, when I was 16, my friend Joey, he introduced me to the Wicca, and it made sense. It clicked. Because it was like, if I want to go to church, I walk outside. My church and what I believe is nature, the animals, everything around me. That's, I want to pray. I go outside, and that's what centers me. So that was it spoke to me, and that was the one, it worked for me.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of people understand that the whole purpose of paganism and Wicca is about supporting nature, taking care of the environment, being grateful to what the earth provides for us. Kiki needs to go out and has churros again. So
be right back.
I think that if more people understood that, all the pagan holidays are seriously about celebrating, the changes of the seasons, celebrating the full moon and celebrating new moons and, these gifts that are given to us naturally, I don't think people would be as afraid of it as they kind of seem to be.
I've had people ask, "You're a witch?" And I've just gotten to the point where it's like, "Do you sacrifice babies?" And I'm like, "No, but do you have one?" I make fun of it now. I mean, I used to get so offended when I first was still learning, and it was just, really? People ask this? And now it's just like, are you going to put a curse on me? Yeah, I'm going to turn you into a newt as soon as I get home.
I I have to say, doesn't the Bible talk boldly about sacrificing your children so that there can be, the harvest and,
Yep.
and it's like, oh my God, really? Let's blame the pagans though.
And I've read the Bible cover to cover. Believe it or not, my daughter wants to be a military chaplain. She's actually going to a religious college because she wants to have her own church someday. So
is she like a decided like what branch of religion? Because there's so many.
I'm not sure. I know she's very Christian. So I'm not sure exactly. She wants to go in the military and do the chaplain thing, and I know that's one of her big goals. But I usually, they're like, your daughter's doing this and you're a witch. How is this a thing? Well, it just is.
It's called allowing your children to have the freedom to choose for themselves.
Exactly. And then my younger daughter, Angela, she's more of a Wiccan, and she believes a lot of what I do. And she'll randomly ask me questions sometimes, and we had a whole conversation one day when we first talked about it. This was years ago. She was still little. And she just looked at me and she's like, Mommy, you're supernatural.
Aww.
She must have been. I think she was probably 10 at the time. But yeah, I was just like, well, not quite, Angela, but okay.
That's so cute.
And now, I'm sure of that.
Your daughter may change her mind after she goes to school. Quite honestly, my husband one of his uncles actually went to school to be a minister. I just, run-of-the-mill Christian, nothing like out of the ordinary, just a regular Christian, I guess, all denominational or non-denominational pastor. But he was also very educated. Very strong reader, had gone to college. He was very, very smart and had been taught. And I'm not saying Christians are dumb. I'm just saying that he had gone out to educate himself, gone out to think for himself, gone out to learn, was taught to analyze. He wanted to be an analyzer. He liked analyzing things. But he felt this calling. And then after going to school for this, he was like, this is so contradictory. There's everything is contradicting itself. And he actually is an atheist now because of going to school to be a minister.
My daughter Michelle, she's always gone to church, and this is, whatever she wants to do. And I've told her, I was like, may not be what I believe, but That's support no matter what. It's like you do what you're going to do, and that's if that's what speaks to you, go for it. All I care is that my kids are happy. They can do whatever they want as long as they're happy. But she's also very funny. Every time I've been down to Florida to visit and help take care of my mom, she's always like, well, I've looked up places we can go ghost hunting.
Ah, nice.
And she wants to use the equipment and stuff, which is just, I'm like, okay.
That's so cool.
But yeah, she's something else.
No, she sounds open-minded. And that I honestly, if she's going to be a minister and still be open-minded, to me, that's somebody who's really out for one thing, and that's to help other people. To do the right
what
thing.
She wants to do. She wants to be able to help people.
That's amazing.
That's both of us. Very open-hearted.
I want to interrupt for a second and apologize to the co-host Jen.
Unacceptable.
To the guest Kerry, even though Kerry's one of our closest friends, and to everybody listening. But if it was a baby crying, I wouldn't ignore the baby. I can't ignore my dog. So I hope everybody understands, but I can't do it.
I don't think any apologies are necessary. That's your fur baby.
Yeah,
that's still
especially since I've been on the air for how long now? Almost 2 years, including when I was co-hosting. This dog doesn't make a sound unless something's wrong. So.
Yeah,
You know.
no, that's perfectly understandable. Animals are family.
Have we done shout-outs yet? Because Kerry's getting a lot of compliments in the chat, and she has a lot of her own listeners that are new to us. And
we did, but I saw that she's starting to get some shout-outs. You want to read through some of them?
Yeah, I can, but between my Mass New Hampshire accent and me being stupid, please forgive me if I butcher your name.
It's Betancourt. Matt Betancourt.
Yeah, that one I'm not afraid of. We have Matt Betancourt saying, so proud of you, Kerry. Wish I could be there with you. We have, of course, Jen B. We have Manny D, who is also a personal friend of hers. We have Miss Kelly McCarville. I kind of know her a little bit.
A little bit.
Course, we have Nicole George, who is my sister, and, Kerry's sister in another way, but,
Yes.
We have Miss Peggy Gypsy. Thank you, Peggy, for coming in. We have some more. There was more. We have Wolf. We have Jason Himblett.
Yep. He's a friend of mine. We work together.
Yep. He's. I don't want to repeat the last message he sent because sometimes personal messages aren't meant to be read on air, so without permission. But he is in here supporting you. How far back can I go?
I think everybody else we've already said hi to, except for Wolf. Wolf is the only one we haven't, I don't think, said hi to yet.
All right, I just want to make sure because there are people in here just for Kerry, and I want to support them.
Well, Matt is actually on my team. He's actually pretty much my co-founder. We usually everything we go through. He went through a hard time, but
is he the tech guy?
Yeah, he's my tech guy.
Right.
He's kind of my co-founder. He helps me.
Yeah, I know, but I just meant
so much.
The tech guy. Yep.
Yeah, he does a lot of the tech and a lot of the stuff because he knows so much more than I do.
Hey, it's a learning process.
Yeah, well, when it comes to doing certain things, like I can do the equipment.
Oh, and Pat Craft.
All that.
Mama Pat's in there. Sorry.
Oh, hey, Pat.
Sorry, Mama Pat. I love you. Don't hate me. I didn't mean to.
I didn't see her either. My bad, too.
Yeah. So, all right. Sorry.
Let's talk about. I want to know if Miss Kerry has gone investigating to a place that maybe you haven't, Shay.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We're at the point where actually we have a meeting Tuesday and we're going to compare notes and find new places to do together. So yeah, she has. She's done places we haven't done. We've done places she hasn't done, and we compare notes and send each other or go together if we can. So.
Well, I don't know if you can pick one then, Kerry. Is there like a favorite place that you haven't investigated with Shay that you would want to take her to?
Oh, God. Well,
I don't know if you can pick one.
There's so two, we can talk about two. I still want to go to. Well, one of my favorite places, other than my all-time favorite right now, was Westboro, when we all did Westboro together. Because on my paranormal bucket list was to do an asylum. Knocked that off there.
Yeah.
So that's still one of my absolute favorites.
And every time I see a post that they've knocked another building down, which are almost done now, it still breaks my heart.
Oh my God, yes. It's so sad because it's history, but it's still, there's so much more left to investigate.
Yeah. Yeah, and I understand that some of the buildings aren't safe, but they're knocking it down to build an elderly community, which maybe the community needs. But when it comes to historic buildings, sometimes just leave them alone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, the land probably isn't protecting any sort of endangered species, and so since you know what I mean, so it's like, well, let's build there. There isn't like any restrictions for building.
Yeah, they sold it. I mean, I get it to a certain point, but then I don't. In other way, I'm torn as usual.
So, do you have any stories that Shay hasn't heard yet?
Well, one of my favorites. I was driving back from Florida. I stopped in Gettysburg. Which
I heard this.
Go back there.
Oh.
So Now we found the Sachs Bridge, and just driving through, the energy you feel driving through Gettysburg, and I never gotten to stop. So we were on our way back, and I'm like, all right, well, it's 7:00, we can stop. It was still daylight because it was August. So we went to the Sachs Bridge, and we got the spirit box. Well, actually, I didn't even have a spirit box at the time. We used white noise from the phone. We found a white noise maker, hooked it up to the speaker, and I had my recorder. And I'm walking around, and all of a sudden we hear this. It's like a whoosh. I still don't know what it is, and then nothing. And I'm like, okay. So we're standing around. I'm like, all right, guys. I'm like, you don't want to tell me what you're doing. I'm just going to go tell the Confederacy what I think you're up to. Now, by no means do I believe in provoking, but I figured at least if I mentioned Confederacy a few times, and all of a sudden we get through the white noise, a very clear, distinct voice. No, she won't.
So your trigger word, her trigger word seemed to work.
And I just went, I won't what? So we went back to the car and played it again. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, there was obviously two people and there was nobody else around. We were the only people on the bridge. So I'm like, that's one place I'm dying to go back down there. I'm like,
wow.
Gotta make another trip to Florida, so it'll be probably happening.
I want to go to Gettysburg too. Really, like super, super bad. I'm way into history. Might have something to do with why I married somebody who has a bachelor's degree in American history, because I love history so much. So I'm sure that's a haunted location. I could totally get him on board to visiting.
I'm hoping to get there this summer because Kelly McCarville will be there this summer, and I'm hoping to work it out somehow, some way to get there. Yeah, Nicole, I know you do, and that's why I'm waiting for more information, and I'm so hoping to get there. My life is so up in the air, and I'm so busy. We never know, but I'm really hoping. And I laughed out loud a minute ago because Matt says, you're Matt, Kerry, not mine.
Yeah.
Says, have Kerry tell the story about what happened at Dogtown when we were lost. Because I think there was a few things that happened, but I remember all the stories, so I laughed out loud when I read it.
There's not much I don't tell you guys. Anyways, what happens on some of our investigations.
Too much sometimes, but we do the same to her, so it's okay.
We disturb. Hey, I could tell everybody the story of me singing Baby Shark in the middle of the cornfield. There is video of this.
I have a video.
Geez. Do not get that song in my head. La 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 la. The other one bites the dust.
Hey, I'm
trying to get another song in my head.
Cornfield. Well, at work the other morning, they started playing that song, and I just busted out laughing. I'm like, there's no cornfields. What's going on?
That's my cornfield song.
Wait, then anybody that hasn't seen, I don't even know if I put the blooper up yet. The blooper up on YouTube yet, but I did put it up on Facebook on one of the pages somewhere. Kerry and her evil laugh, and I'm recording, and Nicole yells, Malachi, are you here? And Kerry, what did you do? In the middle of a cornfield. So we did take a break from Westboro and went in the middle of this cornfield, and this is what we did.
We were actually looking for the incinerator. We were doing something, but we're just like.
My taking a break definition is different than some other people's, but we had fun along the way.
Exactly. Yeah, well,
Kerry, Matt saying he wanted to know more so what happened when he.
Yeah, because I interrupted. Sorry.
Well, when we did Dogtown, so I had decided we didn't know much. We didn't do any preliminaries in there. So we got down there.
Random question, like the movie?
No, it's Dogtown.
Okay.
Dogtown, Massachusetts.
Dogtown Commons in Massachusetts, an old abandoned settlement. The buildings are no longer there.
There's a skater movie about Dogtown.
This had nothing to do with the skaters.
Okay. Okay.
No.
This was
The buildings
Sorry.
are no longer there. They just have rocks that they have numbers that represent each building that used to be there.
yeah. And
So-
it was a town of ill repute at one point. It was run by prostitutes and witches, and there's all stories about witches and things like that. So of course, I really wanted to go. And so we got down there and we looked around a little bit, and then we got lost for 3 hours after we went and had dinner.
Oh shit!
Because my good friend Matt, let's go this way. He dragged us through a swamp.
Yeah, that sounds like a good friend.
Oh, he's a really good friend. Oh, he's awesome. But
Sounds
so
like
we
a
went.
best friend to me, but you know.
He's my brother. He's my brother. You know, the brother I always wanted.
So what happened? Oh, you're killing me. What happened? What happened?
So we got lost. We finally found, as soon as it started to get dark, we found the trail we needed to be on because we finally found one of the stones.
Well, now
And the stone we were in front of was the Truth Rock. And, we're like, okay.
The elephant one?
No, this one I don't think you guys ever got to. Because this was
that's
way
a different
down.
story. Okay, yep. Okay, yeah. No.
So
yeah,
we got
I know what you mean.
We were there.
Never mind, yep.
And we were asking, took out the spirit box and we were asking questions. And we're like, okay, well, where are we? Because we were still kind of lost at this point. And all of a sudden on the spirit box, all you hear is truth. And we're like, wait a minute, what rock are we in front of? So we managed to find the trail. We were all seeing shadows and just weird things. Like Brittany and Matt swore that they saw a tree in the middle of the trail. And when we got up to it, there was no tree there. So it was like,
whoa.
And you were hearing, it sounded like the woods were screaming at us.
Oh,
it was just loud. So there was
what's the history? I mean, what happened there? I'm sorry. I live on the complete opposite side of the country and don't have a bachelor's in history. So what happened there?
It was an old town. They had moved inland because of pirates. And
it was an early settlement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, think of when the USA, quote unquote, started. It's an early settlement.
So is this like the whole Croatoan thing?
Kinda, I guess. They ended up all moving away. There was several people died in there. I know they found bodies. There was a body of a teacher that was found. Different things, and that was run by witches, and you would have to pay a penance to go through, and there's not a lot of information on it, but some of the stories are kind of weird. It's like, okay. And, supposedly like a crow was shot and one of the women in town fell to the ground and had the silver bullet that they shot the crow with in her leg.
God. That's a little far-fetched.
So we had asked at one of them, I decided Matt had found one of the cellar holes, and in my infinite wisdom, I'm like, well, you found it, you're going in it.
Yeah, boy.
Remind me when you're done with the story. Matt elaborated a little bit more. So, but finish this first, and then we'll go back to Matt.
So he had already had like a weird thing when we were walking down. He kind of tried saying, no, we need to go this way. Completely wasn't himself. Started walking, and we're like, no, Matt, you got to come this way. And he gets every investigation, it's like something tries to pull him away. And he's an empath, so he gets very strong. But we were near the end, and I'm like, all right, Matt, you're going in the cellar hole. And we stuck him in there with the spirit box, and he's asking questions. And, are you upset that one of us is a witch? And we heard a yes. And then he's like, are you mad that I'm in your house? And we heard yes. And then all of a sudden we heard danger, danger, danger 3 times.
Wow.
And we're like, are we in danger? And then all of a sudden you hear run. And we're just like, what? And it was just clear as day, run.
Damn.
Like,
That's what he was talking about, by the way. That's what he's talking about. He said, thank you.
See, I would have left you guys. I would have been all, bye, and left at that moment. Did you leave or did you stay?
We ended up, we were at the end, so we'd already coming back around, and it was like, okay, well, apparently we need to run. And one of the claims in there is that you get very disoriented, and once it's nighttime, and they tell you not to go in at night, but we're special and we go in at night.
Yeah,
and we were
special. That's, I'm not going any
emphasis
further.
on special.
I mean, I want to go back because there is supposedly there's a toy graveyard in there, or doll graveyard, and there's a bunch of things that we didn't find while we were there, but we got lost for 3 hours.
Well, Nicole and I, really quick, this is going to be a long show, I can already tell. Nicole and I went, and number one, we hiked in an hour and a half, and then I'm like, I have to pee.
I always have to pee.
Yeah, but I mean, I really had to pee. And I even was looking for a place. I'm like, I can do it. I can pee outside. I can't do it. I can't pee outside. So we had to leave and go back. So then we hiked an hour. Probably was an hour and a half, but it was at least an hour. She'll correct me.
If you would have stayed long enough, eventually you could have peed outside. I just want to say.
But I couldn't. I have kidney issues. People, don't judge me. Anyways, so we go back and we hike back in, and we're looking for this place that Kerry told us her experiences because she had been before us. And we get to this fork in the road, and I'm like, I can't remember who thought what. It doesn't matter. It's probably my fault because I'm bad at directions. But we're looking for a rock that says Dogtown Commons. But I thought it said something like D2. It was like a gold cursive, and it was worn down. So I'm like, I think we're supposed to go left, and I'm going to blame myself because it was probably my fault. So we kept going left. And we hiked for another hour. Mind you, if we had taken that right, it would have taken us to the Truth Rock.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's a ways down.
Yep.
It's a ways down in there. Well, and there were stones we didn't find because there's one that says "Help Mother," and
we didn't see that.
Like, there's a lot we didn't get to. So
yeah, I mean, an hour in and an hour back, so it was just 2 hours of. It was an hour, at least an hour hike in. I'm like, oh, we gotta go. I gotta pee.
I don't think I could hike
out,
for an hour
back in. So it's a big place.
Oh,
honestly, I don't think my body physically could do that.
I'm fat.
I think I'd be in so much pain.
Can do it. Yours can.
If I can do it, so can you.
Yeah.
Well, Matt was just asking about. We did Bear Brook was one of our first actual investigations we all did as a team, and
Which
it's actually
we've never done, by the way.
Yes, we found he knows that area so well, so he had suggested. I'm like, all right, follow your lead, dude, and we went up, and he grew up near those woods, and right now I don't live far from there, but we ended up we followed him because I'm like, you know the way. We went through like everything on the way up, and they're all unmarked trails. So we found some old cellar holes and things like that. He's like, I never saw these. And it was just weird experiences. And we finally got to a clearing, and we're like, all right, let's stop. We'll do a spirit box. And I'll see if we get anything. And we had a couple of other girls with us, myself, Matt, and Corey. And we kept getting on the spirit box, baby, baby, baby. It was like, what? It was like, okay, this is weird. And when we were leaving, Corey was behind us because he was filming everything. And as we got down, and there was trees around, but nothing that would get near you. He had 3 scratches down the side of his neck. So that was Matt was referring to, yeah. And Corey's like, "Why are you always sacrificing me?" I'm like, "Well, you're the easiest one." But he was behind us, and there was nothing that could have.
It's out of love, Matt. We sacrifice those we love, let me tell you, because when I thought it was an animal, I say it all the time, when I thought there was an animal coming after us, I was willing to sacrifice Nicole. No issue.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought it was a ghost. That was different. I didn't move, but I thought it was a mouse or a bat. nothing big. It wasn't a bear. I thought it was a mouse or a bat. I was going to sacrifice her. Out of love.
I sacrificed you to the mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of love. Don't forget that part, because that makes a big difference.
Always out of love. Yes. You have to say that.
Yeah. How about this, Kerry?
Yeah.
Well, I have a question about the scratches.
Oh, yeah, go ahead then.
So when the scratches occurred, did you guys catch any evidence that would correlate with that other than the baby when you reviewed?
Well, the weird thing was we ended up coming back, and that we were in a place where, from the history Matt had given us, and there were murders in these woods. There were the barrel murders where they found little girls in barrels, and there was a lot of stuff up there. Indian burial grounds.
What?
There's a lot of weird stuff up here. And there's this one clearing, there's like a fire pit there. And just really weird. Matt said there was the one place we were at, they used to do like seances and Ouija board stuff and rituals that were good. So we'd gotten some weird names. We'd gotten a demon name, and I forget which one it was. Matt, I'm sure will tell me.
You don't have to tell us. That's okay.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's probably why I forget. But we'd gotten that, and it was right after that when we got out of the woods.
Fuck you, Jen.
That Corey was scratched, and it was like, oh boy. So, and at this point, like Rachel, one of the other girls with us, she's like, okay, well that was fun. We're going home now.
Yeah,
right?
that's really weird. But did you feel like it was a demon, or did you feel that maybe it was something trying to scare you away, and that's why it chose to say a demon name, chose to do three scratches?
Like, I'm not one that believes in, like, the whole... I mean, I know there are people out there, oh, it's a demon, No.
Yeah.
Ghost Adventures.
Yeah.
I just...
Douchebags.
That's why I was like, Ghost Adventures. I'm not one that really... But this one, it kind of was like... There was a weird vibe up there anyways. But when that happened, it was like, okay. And, of course, me, I'm like, I'm going to stand right in the middle of this fire pit and let's see what happens. No fear. And it just was, there was just a really weird vibe up there. It was kind of creepy. And the weird thing was, we lost time. We walked and walked, and it felt like we've been walking forever. When we went to turn around, it took us 20 minutes to get out.
All right.
And we weren't really stopping or anything, but it was just, our sense of time was like, I'm like, it's only what? It just was really very interesting, weird place.
Here's what Matt says. This is where Matt's going to regret coming into chat a little. I love Kerry. I love anybody she loves. Don't hold this against me. We went to, this is what Matt says. We went to where they found one of the bodies. Chat's moving. We went to one of...
Yeah, it moves.
Stop! We went to where they found one of the bodies, and the fire pit is where the teens went to do a Ouija board, and it was, quote, unquote, Zuzu, and definitely a demon feeling. It was giving
Zoso?
Dumb thoughts. So, I believe every part of the sentence, but I don't quite believe in Zozo.
Is that how you say it?
I know everybody's going to jump on me in chat, and that's fine. That's just my opinion.
I don't know.
That's, so.
It was just a weird name to get in the middle of the woods.
Yeah, it is. And I'll say that. You know me.
Like I said, I don't believe in the demon thing.
She's been on the other show, so she knows I'm going to say what I think. Yeah,
exactly.
The Matt B. Matt B, you want to come on either show anytime? With or without Kerry? Let us know. That's great.
She's all, bye, Kerry. Bye, Felicia.
I'm just saying. No, we don't say no to too many people, although I have said no to people.
That's what she said.
Hey, I'm a lot more mellow today than I was Friday. I'm not bouncing off the walls so much, but But yeah, it is a weird name to get out in the middle of there. I mean,
like I said, and I'm not one that believes that everything's a demon,
Yeah.
but that was what the
what
hell.
did you get it on?
We got it on. We were using a spirit box. It was like a cheap sort of spirit box. It was before I got all my equipment that my friend bought me.
See, yeah, we were a little hyper. Kelly tried to rein me in on Friday, and she just couldn't. I'm bounced off. I know it was your idea, Nicole. I just couldn't remember who said it. I read it. It is Nicole's idea to have Matt on the show.
Yeah, either way.
Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, personally, I just have my theory is that and it was hard for me to really latch on to this idea. I had to think about it for a while because we work so hard in our lives to be individuals, but I honestly feel like we really share a collective consciousness, and that somewhere in there, whatever this spirit was or entity was that wanted you to leave, reached into somebody's consciousness and, as it's in the collective, so they have access to it,
Pick
found out
that would
you
scare
were,
them.
Yeah, afraid of, and they use that name.
Yeah.
Well, it's usually whatever, when Matt's with us, whatever, if there's something there, he knows. That's one of the things he's like, yeah, he's like, no. And that's probably why we followed him into the woods at Dogtown. No, we'll go this way. I'm like, because I trust him that much that I'm like,
number one mistake, don't ever follow anybody named Matt into the woods.
Or Jason.
Yeah, probably don't follow a guy named Jason, especially if he's wearing a hockey mask.
Well, he was just trying to he was pimped out for you. Hello, Jason. All right, sorry. Back on track.
Are we ever really on track?
No. This is good. I'm on my best behavior right now because I know if I step over that bound, it's gone. The show will be... Once I get her going, it's done. So I am trying really hard to stay on track.
Yeah, Matt's right. He attracts the spooky stuff. That's why me and him are friends. That's why he's my little brother.
Yeah, see. All right. So what I was going to ask earlier, this is a quick story, and then Jen can go back. How about Milford, New Hampshire?
Monson, yes.
Monson. Do you want to quickly describe what happened?
Let's
start with the first time. Let's start with what... I can describe the first time if you want to describe the second time.
Sure, you go for it.
So the first time, Nicole, Kerry and I tried to meet up at Monson, another abandoned town. There was a huge ice storm. Nicole and I had been there during the day, but Kerry had worked. She met us after. But, so we did go and explore, and let me tell you, it was hard. So Kerry gets there, but at this point, the ice was so bad. Like, you have to go down hills, and it was dangerous. So we just stayed up in the upper level, which isn't much. It's a parking lot. And we're like, okay, let's reschedule. So, Kerry, the next time we went back, who was with us and what happened?
Well, it was me, you, Nicole, and your mom.
Yep.
And we decided, okay, the middle of summer. Forget what month it was, but yeah, it was the summer, and we decided, all right, I'm like, well, I know where I've gotten things that have happened before. I've gotten some weird EVPs and things like that. So I'm like, all right, we'll go down. It was the cobbler's house. So we get down there, and apparently we walked into a mosquito nest because there were tens of thousands of mosquitoes.
And she's not exaggerating. People think I exaggerate when I tell the story. I did not exaggerate. This was horrible.
So, I mean, even if we were to get any EVPs or anything happen that night, all you would hear is all of us slapping ourselves and screaming, "You stupid shit, stop biting me." You know, it was really bad.
And the nest followed us when we tried to leave. It wasn't just in that one spot. We're like, we can't do this. We gotta leave. And
was there water though? I mean, what brought the mosquitoes?
We don't know.
There was no water.
Everything was frozen. It was this time. Well,
this was summer.
Winter.
No, this time was summer when we get attacked by the mosquitoes.
Sorry, that was the first time. Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think there was water where we were. Now I'm thinking back. I don't know.
Because we were pretty deep into the woods, and there's no water where that
I remember the second time.
Yeah, there's no water there. You got to walk quite a ways to get to any water.
Nicole's saying she's never seen so many. I can't even describe this. The mosquito apocalypse. Yeah, it was horrible. One of my biggest fears. This was bad.
Oh, I've never seen so many mosquitoes in my life.
No.
I had so many bites on my leg, and I had on jeans, and I was just covered in bites.
Yeah.
What you guys are saying is you found where mosquitoes go to bow chicka wow wow.
Clearly.
You invaded their orgy, therefore they bit you.
Several times, and it was like every time I've been there in the summer, I've been in there in middle of fall on a hot day. Never have I seen so many freaking mosquitoes.
I mean,
we're not exaggerating. We're actually playing it down.
Well, I guess I'm doing it in a smart-ass way, but I guess I'm trying to debunk it. I mean, was it perhaps like a breeding? And that's why there's so many.
It's paranormal. We're not saying it's paranormal. I feel like it was anyway.
It was just there was so many mosquitoes.
Well, it was paranormal, but it was a woo-woo paranormal.
It was something woo-woo.
It wasn't normal.
I wish I had a woo-woo that day, man.
Oh my God!
See the clouds of them. It was horrible. Horrible.
It was. And, I'm trying to climb down into the old cellar, and it's just, I'm being attacked. And all you can hear, we're all like just slapping ourselves because they were just, like you'd have 3 or 4 of them on you at a time just deciding, hey, I want to snap.
I had 3 or 4 on my face. It's like,
that's what she said.
Shut up. We're pulling them out of our hair, out of our bras. That's
what she said.
I got home and it's literally dead mosquitoes falling out.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
In our hair. I mean.
Oh yeah. I had to wash my hair twice. One of the worst
experiences of my paranormal investigating life.
Yeah. I have never seen anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, for all 4 of us to agree. I'm looking at my mother. My mother's looking at me, and we're like, this is bad. But I think we're both thinking at the time, okay, we're wimps. We don't like bugs. It's horrible. And then all of a sudden, they're like swarms. It was a swarm. I mean, thousands and thousands. They're just and then these 2, as soon as these 2 were like, I can't do it. Yeah, all right, we're out. Let's go.
It's like, I can't handle this. And
I wouldn't have been able to. I wouldn't have been able to stay. I wouldn't have been able to handle that kind of mess either.
Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah, so, and she still tags along with us, even after the first couple bad experiences.
Even though
of course, why wouldn't I?
I shouldn't say
even though you take her
along.
to the mosquito hives.
I should correct that. She doesn't tag along with us. We plan these with her. I don't want to make it sound like, we work.
I think we all understood.
Yeah.
We all, because I had told you guys about Monson. That was one, because that's one of the places I love to go and investigate. Because it's a really neat
Monson
place.
You did. That day we were wearing the all the same shoes. That first day is what you told us about Monson. So that is why we.
And then
she teams with you.
Yep. Woo! It was an awesome shot. I have liked woo woo for a long time. I can't drink it anymore. I'm old, but 20 years ago, woo woo was a good shot. It's got hot damn in it, so it's cinnamon. Cinnamon?
What's a cinnamon?
Yeah,
it's a new word that we created on this show.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
we're the woo-woo cinemies kind of people.
Yeah, that will be the new hashtag. It's never mind. Look, Shay, look it up. It'll be cinnamon.
Hashtag cinnamon woo woo.
Cinnamon woo woo. Yes, Matt, you
Kim.
definitely dragged me through a swamp. Thanks.
Kerry, I wanted to ask you if you've ever investigated. So you go down to Florida. I mean, you're in New Hampshire. Is that correct?
Yes.
So what, out of all these places between New Hampshire and Florida, what would you say has the big famous tag on it? Somewhere that maybe everyone's heard of.
Oh, obviously Gettysburg, because everybody knows that one.
Yeah.
The funny thing was when I was driving last summer to actually take a vacation, sort of, I planned on stopping at all these places. It always ends up being sort of, I'm on vacation. No, not quite. I wanted to stop in Savannah, and because there's a cemetery there that I really wanted to go check out. And unfortunately, I got there as the place was closing down. So I didn't get to do that. And so, because I planned all these different places and my timing was just so off. So, most of the great places I've investigated are Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maine, what have you. So these are, some of the old forts up in Maine and stuff.
And I have to step away again. Sorry. Be right back.
No,
that's okay.
Don't apologize.
But, what would you say is, I'm sure you have figured out from listening to our show, I love hearing ghost stories and paranormal experience stories. Yeah, I love it, love it, love it. What would you say is one of your most favorite memorable experiences?
Oh, geez.
I don't want to be cliche, but I love this shit, man.
Oh, yeah. Well, I remember one of the things I told Nicole and Shay, that's why they went to Laconia. Right after I started my team, I was kind of taking trips to find places, and we went to the Laconia State School. And we had gotten there, and we were there at night, and we weren't there long, but we were in front of one of the buildings near where they had been with probation, and we'd taken a picture. It looked like the shadow figure, which we didn't realize till much later. Mm-hmm. And but when we were there in front of one of the buildings, we were talking, and I'm like, I had the recorder going, and all of us, when I went through it later, you heard, and I heard it with my own ears at the time, and it didn't freak me out, but you heard, "Go home." And it was one of those was like, what? I was like, and I'm like, no, I didn't hear that. And when I went back to listen to the recorder later on, you heard it clear as day.
Because you heard it. It was an auditory capture. It wasn't an electric capture.
I got it on the recorder, but I heard it auditory as well.
Nice.
But it was one of those that I questioned. I was like, well, did they want me to go home, or did they want to go home, given the type of school that it was?
Right.
So, it was one of those. I was like, I kind of questioned it, like, well, maybe they want to go home. They're stuck there. They want to go home. So that was, one of the, after starting the team, that was one of the first ones that I'd gotten. A previous team I was on, we were investigating an old barn, and we got it on the recorder, but we heard auditory. Whatever was up in this barn said "die" 3 times, and you heard it was like right behind me. And that was something I will never forget. Scared the crap out of me, but made me want to go do it more. I was like, I need to do this more.
It's not very friendly to say "die" 3 times, but yeah, oh no, for sure, I would totally see where you'd be like. I mean, it's a thrill hearing voices out of nowhere. I just think it's exciting, but I'm a dork, so what am I going to say?
No. Hey, I've been to places I sit alone in the dark and, try to get something to talk to me, and I get nothing. So one of the really cool places I went to was Mount Washington Hotel. And coolest thing about this place is this is up in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire. So it's way up there. And so we were just driving around. I was like, I wanted to check it out. And I'm like, this is $1,000 a night hotel.
Damn.
I mean, this is a beautiful hotel. So we went and we walked in and we told them who we were. And they're like, oh, we have pictures. They pulled out a book of pictures from ghosts that they've caught. They're like, oh, yeah, this is one in the hallway and this, that, and the other. And the funny thing was, I didn't really know much about it. I knew Princess Caroline. And they said, oh, if you want, there's some history books over there. Take a walking tour. I'm like, they were super nice.
Wow,
explain some of the history. And I'm like, this is $1,000 a night hotel. And you're going to let me just walk around. Okay.
Yeah.
And we did. And, they showed us the pictures and go up on the floors, check it out. Look at the history. There's all sorts of, and it was like one of the most welcoming places I'd ever been to. And I'm like thinking, all right, they're going to think we're a bunch of weirdos, walking in. Yeah, we're paranormal investigators. And they're like, yeah, go ahead. Have fun.
Well, that just, to me, that goes to show you that that's how many experiences that they must have had as a staff, that stories that they've been able to share, where they've been able to get pictures, that when somebody else that's curious about it comes in, they want that validation of, yes, it's haunted. Yes, check this out. Yes, go look around. You know what I mean? They must have had some seriously crazy experiences of their own.
There's one picture they have. Everybody that was in the hotel, it was during the season where they had no guests, so they were getting ready for season, and they had, everybody was outside. There wasn't a single person in the building. This is one of the pictures they showed us. You see in the room where Princess Caroline had her room, you see somebody standing in that window.
Wow.
So,
really
I mean,
cool.
Like I said, and it's just one of those places where they were just so, I'm thinking, all right, yeah, this is a really expensive hotel. They're not going to let us, just go walk. And I'm still to this day in awe of the fact that they, we were just allowed to go walk around this beautiful hotel. And
I think, that's awesome.
And they were willing to share the experiences they've had and the pictures and everything else. It was just really one of the coolest places that I've gotten to check out. And I took so many pictures of all sorts of stuff. So.
No, it's a great experience to add to your list of experiences. So, and that you got to talk to like-minded people, found like-minded people that were generous enough to say, hey, come share our space with us for a little while. So that's really cool.
Oh, well, I'll pretty much talk to anybody. We found that out when we were at Westboro. I'm like, well, hey, there was some guys up on the roof and just started talking. So where do we get in? And they were climbing up on the roof, going in through stuff on top of the roof. I'm like, well, we're not doing that.
And then the people that were there collecting the cats. And
Yep.
And anybody listening that doesn't know, Kerry was with us the night that we had the hitchhiker come home with us. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had my own weird experiences on the way home too. So.
Yeah.
So tell us yours. Tell us your experience. Because if you guys haven't heard it, then go back and listen to the playlist where I interviewed Shay on our show. I'm not sure which episode it is, but they all went out and they forgot to tell them that they had to stay.
Wait a minute. We have to stop right there and let's just say that show would not have happened if Nicole and Kerry were not in the chat helping me.
Yes,
they weren't on the air, but they were in the chat helping me. So, amen to them.
Well, we'd all left. It was the end of the night, and we did not say, no, you can't come home with us.
Wait, Kerry, I don't know if you could hear it, but the only time your voice has skipped out at all tonight is just right now when you were getting ready to. It's from my end. It totally skipped out. It was so weird.
On this end.
Yeah, probably. But so none of us did. So I didn't know anything about what they were experiencing on their way home. Well, I got in the car and I had used my phone to do recordings while we were there because the batteries died in my recorder. So I was like, I'll just use my phone, just easier.
Yeah, did we have to like take a speaker from somebody and something that night?
Yeah. Because my speaker worked, but I know my recorder wasn't working.
Your recorder didn't work, but your speaker did, and her recorder worked, but her speaker didn't, so we combined them.
Yeah, exactly. So now when I get in my car, my Bluetooth does not connect automatically to my phone. It just, I have to press a button for everything to connect.
Mhm.
So I get in the car and everything else in the trunk, and I put my phone up, and I had the radio on, and I'm driving, and all of a sudden it starts going through of everything I recorded. It just comes through the speakers, and it comes across loud. And I'm like, but I couldn't disconnect it. I'm like, I want to listen to it when I'm at home. What the hell's going on? I literally pulled over, and I couldn't get it disconnected.
From your phone to the Bluetooth so that the audio is through the speakers.
And it was loud, and I'm trying to turn it down. It would get loud again. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And it was all the way home. And I was talking to my friend Brian had messaged me. His message came through, and I couldn't text him back. I had to pull into a gas station to be able to text him and be like, hey, I got some weird stuff going on. I'll see you in a little while. Set him about, an hour away from home.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't even, because I tried getting it wouldn't disconnect. And as soon as I turned the car back on, it just would, and it has never done it since.
And it just played on its own, correct? Like you couldn't even get to stop playing?
All it played was just what I had recorded at Westboro.
Whoa.
And wouldn't play normally, I can't even get it to connect right away to play my music. So I'm like, why? And it wouldn't even play my Spotify list. So I was like, okay. And even my text, it wasn't letting me text out. And I was like, what is going on? And then by the time once I got back and I was getting into Epsom, it turned itself off and it's never connected again. I don't know what happened, but that was weird.
Two things.
That was
Number
my
one,
experience.
Paranormal Buzz can all shows, including Peggy's, who aired for the first time yesterday, can be found on Spotify. Thank you very much. Number two, in a serious matter, mind you, we didn't message her 6 paragraphs of what happened. We're just like, you're not going to believe what happened. And we gave her a little bit, probably. I don't remember, but Nicole probably helped me here. And we told her a little bit about what happened, but nothing. And then she started telling us what she experienced. Mind you, I wasn't driving. Nicole was driving. So I'm recording everything that happened on our way home. So there's no way she could have known what we experienced to compare. It's not like she was so.
Yeah, it was really weird.
And both of us, meaning Nicole and I, being one, and her on the other, which we don't do often, totally forgot to do not come with us. Thank you, because we're very careful about music. We didn't do it. We forgot. Yeah, we have Matt saying something here. Hold on. Nicole, it was a strange ride home. It was one of the most intense things that have ever happened. I can't even describe it.
So, Kerry, at some point, did it kind of dawn on you that, hey, I need to tell this whatever's happening to stop, that I need to tell it to leave?
Yeah, but once I pulled into the driveway at home, and we had when we were there, I had taken one of the old patient clipboards. I was like, they're getting rid of all this. I wanted something that would be a reminder. So I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I was like, okay, if you came with me, go back. You cannot come into the house. Because the last thing I need is my friend Brian being like, Kerry, what did you bring home with you?
Right.
He's like, that's not the kind of friend I told you could bring home.
So you know how you want to hear how ours ended, which is even stranger than having a hitchhiker? And that's my word. I call it hitchhiker. Meaning something left the investigation with us and hitchhiked home and then left. After I opened the door to go upstairs to check on, I think I went upstairs to pee and check on Kate because we were in my driveway for an hour dealing with this. As soon as I opened the door, it seemed to leave because when I got back in the car, nothing happened again. It was like once we were done, opened the door, it left. It was gone. Boom. Nothing.
Kerry, were you able to try and make a video or anything like that?
Unfortunately, no, because I was driving by myself.
Yeah,
So
that's the only thing that's why we have proof, because she was driving and I was recording, because it started before we got in my driveway. So.
And they had Kerry's phone hostage.
Yeah.
It was really strange. And like, I couldn't do anything. I'm like driving and I'm by myself. You know, I had, you know, one, my friend Matt was going to go with me that time, but he had something going on.
Matt's typing away. I just haven't read it yet.
He remembers more than I do sometimes.
Yeah,
so.
that's why I mean, Nicole. I'm like, Nicole, help me, please. I know you don't want to be on air, but be in chat. Help me, please. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, that's one of the things, like some of the stuff that we've done. He has the memory. He remembers everything. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right. That happened. Okay, yeah. I remember that now. Yeah. He's, you know, he's younger, so he's got a good memory.
Yeah, she's 10 years younger than me, so I don't have a brain. Everybody that listens to this network knows that. I'm a little slow. It's okay.
Hey, lately I'm wondering where my brain was. I cooked breakfast first this morning and left the stove on. And he went out to get something, and he's like, you left the stove on 7? He's like, I'm like, oh, God. I'm like, I've never done that. Where's my head?
I've never done that. So hopefully I don't, but, you know.
That's not something I usually do. I'm usually really good, and that was this morning.
Not that I'm judging you, because, you know, maybe I did it before my house burned down, but since my house burned down, I have not done it. You know, okay.
I was kind of really upset with myself. Like, why would, oh, God. And he'll never let me forget it. So there's that.
Yeah.
He's like, great. Now I got to check every time you cook us dinner. Yep. Just in case.
Like, well, like, you know what? Yep. If you cook us dinner, you won't have to check, because you'll know you shut it off.
I asked him to cook dinner the other night. He's like, what are we having for dinner? And I'm like, I don't know. What are you
Whatever you're making.
And he's like, well, it's your funeral. I'm like, thanks, Bri. I was like, I guess I'm cooking.
So, all right, Kerry, Matt's talking about, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to do the same thing. Go ahead.
Matt's talking about, you know, how when you left Dogtown, it was very draining, and that you guys needed to stop at a rest stop once you got into New Hampshire, and he's also talking about how it sounds like something was starting to oppress Kayla. He used the word attachment. I'm sorry, Matt, I'm not comfortable using that word. It feels more like something tried to oppress her forcing its emotions on her. Yeah. And she burst into tears. So
I remember him calling me.
Yeah, and he said, he called you. So that actually led me to a question. Do you guys practice any sort of, I know that Shay sets her boundaries when she gets to places. Can you share what your practices are for when you arrive to a place, when you leave a place, just, for others who
we usually, there's nothing when we arrive, and, I've never really thought about it. It's usually when we leave, and obviously at Westboro, I'm always, okay, thank you for letting me investigate, thank you for letting me visit with you, but you need to stay here. This is where you are. I'm going home. You cannot follow me. And that's usually something we always do. And that's, along with, we don't provoke or anything like that, but it's like, no, you can't come with us. And we're usually really good about that. So, yeah, usually. So the whole thing with Westboro was the fact that I forgot to do that. It just wasn't on, I don't know. We'd had so many strange experiences that night that it was just, I didn't think about it. And normally that's something I do every time. We
also hung out in the parking lot for like 40 minutes messing around.
Right.
I personally, I used to do it out loud. I don't anymore. But personally, how do I say this? I mentally prepare myself. I mentally have my intentions set in my mind, like, to protect myself. Like, we used to say it out loud, and if it's a bad case, I know we used to do it. We had this one really bad case, residential, that we would say it before we went in. But if it's just a local thing, I mentally have that intent already set in my mind.
Yeah. And it's like, I always, one of the things, like, whoever believes in whatever God or goddess, whatever they believe, wear something or whatever. Like, I know
whatever deity.
Yeah. That's the word I was looking for. Brain freeze. Like, my mom had gotten me a necklace, and it's Odin.
I'm here for your sister.
And it's like an Odin thing that's my mom sent me, and I use that as my protection, or I'd wear my pentacle. So that was always something. You have to wear some sort of protection going in, and that's always been my thing.
I don't believe
whenever
that.
We're going. See, that's something that's always been a thing with me.
Yeah, a lot of people do. I've gotten a lot of shit over the years. My first paranormal dispute was with this girl almost 4 years ago now, probably about 3.5 years ago, because I don't bring any artifact with me, whether it's pentacle, whatever people choose different things. I'm not into that. I don't believe it. Good for you. If that helps you set your intent, great. And
everybody has their own beliefs.
Yeah. I just think it's a matter of what you believe. And, yeah, she really put me down, and, she was really hard on me, and I'm like, really? Hello? Like, but yeah. my intent is still there, and my belief in what I believe is stronger than any piece of, if that's what makes your belief stronger, great.
Right. And thanks for caring, but you're not my mom.
I wasn't caring.
So.
I found out a year later she was sleeping with my boyfriend, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
she was trying to make you look bad.
Yeah, so the whole point is, but I just think if that helps you with your intent, great. A year from now, I could be like, hey, I was wrong. You need to
But everybody has their own belief. I mean, if you don't, and that's perfectly fine. I mean, you set your intent, everybody does things different, and there's nothing wrong with it.
If that makes you feel stronger about what you believe, then you do it. Don't listen to me. If that makes your belief that much stronger, that means you're that much safer. Then do it. I just don't think I need it, personally. Yes.
Right. So I have another question for both of you.
Please.
Well, you go to a lot of locations. And actually, you can blame it on Betancourt that this question popped into my head, and because he's speaking about how there was this entity that was just really hounding.
Who? Wait a minute.
I'm assuming his girlfriend.
It was his girlfriend at the time.
Kayla, yeah.
Matt.
Who's Caleb?
It was my friend Matt's girlfriend.
Oh, I must have missed that. Okay, go on. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, he's, talking about, an entity that was being really aggressive, sending her oppressive kind of energy. So I'm just kind of curious, do either one of you ever have any sort of spiritual cleansings done? Do you ever work with an energy worker, say maybe once or twice a year or anything like that, just to kind of have your, anything that's stuck in your aura kind of cleansed out?
Nope.
No, I have a friend of mine. Whenever I go on an investigation, if I tell her about it, especially if it's one that I'm like, I know is an active place, she'll send me Reiki and things like that. And, afterwards, when, she knows for me, like, one of the things, sitting in front of a fire is very soothing. So, and she'll, do the Reiki or whatever to help me.
Mm-hmm. So you get the energy clearings then.
Yeah, and I do a lot of meditation on my own, particularly after an investigation, especially when I feel really drained.
Are you a fire sign? I'm just curious now.
I don't know. I'm very attracted
to Gemini,
fire.
I believe.
I'm a Gemini.
Yeah.
I would have to see your whole chart. Like, I'd have to do your whole astrology chart. because fire is normally really calming to other fire signs. So Leos, Sagittarius, Aries. But I'm just, I'm wondering if you have like a lot of fire in your chart, or perhaps your moon sign is fire, even your rising sign, and that's why you find it so soothing.
This is like blah, 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 blah to me. Like,
she doesn't know. She's like, I don't even know what you're saying. Do you know, Kerry?
I have no idea. It's just I've always been drawn to fire. Like, I can sit in front of a bonfire and I'm just calm. And that's one of the things that has always calmed me down. And I've been told I'm weird by many people. I'm like, it's what works.
No, like
sometimes going to the beach. Like, I know my friend Paula, she goes to the beach, and I know her wife has told me, yeah, she's definitely a water sign, because that's where she needs to go to. But stick me in the woods, do a campfire. I'm fantastic at that point. And I always just attributed to it, well, it's because I'm a witch, and that's a thing.
Maybe. I mean, I can do your chart for you if you want. And just so everybody else is clear, I don't do charts all the time. I'm not a professional astrologer. I'm a novice astrologer. But yeah, I mean, I could do. I was curious if you'd ever, done that.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, make sure you're putting a heart on our show tonight, because this has been a lot of fun with Miss Kerry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
The issue is with people not liking the show. I've got, excuse me.
Everybody likes the show.
Yeah,
they love it.
But I've got a lot of feedback from listeners lately. They don't know how to like the show. If you're online... If you're on a computer, it's very simple. If you're on, I will only speak for the Samsung. Before you go into chat, you have to hit the heart. I'm pretty sure Apple's the same way. It's very, it's until you learn how to do it, they can't do it. So,
and if you're already in chat, you just hit the done where it says done. Yeah. You can click done, and it'll take you back to where you can click the heart, and then you click that chat bubble and come back in.
Yeah. So, but Kerry deserves some love.
So Kelly mentioned that she likes to carry, stones. Meaning,
no, she said she
stones.
sometimes does.
Yeah.
No, yeah. She said she sometimes does if she grabs them on the way out the door. So, she was sticking up for me, so if you're going to quarter right.
Well, I was. You interrupted me. She said, I'll carry stones with me on occasion, but it's just if I happen to grab something on the way out the door. And crystals are like batteries. You can, like, while, say, Shay is sitting there thinking her intention, if she holds a stone, or if anybody, doesn't have to be Shay, were to hold a stone while they're thinking their intentions, they're going to energize that stone with the intentions. And then it's just a little, it's a bonus battery.
As, Kelly, you too, LOL. But as the skeptic, because that is in the show, again, if I don't know. If
it's just something you don't believe in, yeah.
No, it's not even that I don't believe in it. I do believe in it. I just believe in it for different reasons than most people. I believe anything. Grab your pillow, and if that pillow makes your intent, if that makes you stronger, if that makes your belief,
agreed, 100%.
It has nothing to do with not believing. I don't know much about crystals and stuff like that. I'm learning slowly. But I think whatever that thing is that makes you believe, a lot of people don't believe in God. They believe in something. Whatever it is. They can believe in their kid. They can, whatever that thing is, We are, what's that say? Hold on, I gotta open my phone. We are our own protection. Yeah. That's just how I feel. But if that rock, if that crystal, if that pillow, if that
talisman,
yeah, whatever that is, if that makes your intent that much stronger, your belief that much stronger,
yeah,
you know,
everybody has something different that works for them.
Yep. Agreed.
So everybody
Exactly.
investigates different. Everybody has different things.
Yeah, Kelly's saying, she said it pretty simple, but she said that, not me. She's saying, I believe I'm safe, therefore I am. It's pretty simple, at least to her. And that's what I'm saying. If that crystal, if that stone makes you feel safer, makes you focus your belief, makes you focus your intent, then use it. That is great.
Yeah.
I just, at this point, I haven't needed to. I'm not saying I never will, you know?
Well, you're a redhead Gemini. You are the power.
I'm the bomb, baby. No, I'm kidding. Sorry. I shouldn't say that. I'm kidding.
Hey, living or dead, nobody wants to mess with a redheaded Gemini.
Oh, God, no.
No. Redheaded Geminis are the worst, man. Exactly, Nicole. I agree.
Aww.
Nicole is saying, I have a Shay has a Nicole. And then Matt says, oddly, mine's having Kerry with me. I feel she's a protector of me, sorts of me. Yep.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of, but I'm not saying don't bring something. That I've never said that. I just don't feel I've had need to yet.
Yeah, it's one of the things with Matt. He's we always have felt safe around each other. That's one of the great things about him. And me and him, he's another one. Me and him clicked the day we met. Yep. It was something automatic right there that we just clicked. And we've always doing this stuff. We even each other out. So, I mean, I think that's why we always have felt safe around each other doing investigations. So that works for us.
Trust is very grounding.
And trust is very empowering. When you trust the right person, it's very empowering.
Yeah, and whether it's in who you're investigating with, whether it's within yourself, for me, it's my higher self and my guides that I feel protected by, that I feel protection from, that I feel grounding from. And as long as I believe in them, which I do, like Kelly said, I believe that I'm safe, so I am.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah, for sure. I was just curious if you either one of you ever just kind of did. I mean, I like it. I like having energy clearings, not all the time, mind you, but
I've never had never will.
Every once in a while, I think it's great.
I never will.
I know for me, the meditation helps a lot. And like, when my friend, she'll send me out the Reiki when I'm investigating or whatever, if it's a particularly haunted location or whatever, if I'm not sure what I'm walking into. So, and that's always, for me, it helps whether, and I'm like, I don't know much about Reiki and stuff like that, but just like, okay, whatever. If it works, it works.
I believe
if it's good,
works.
It's good.
I don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it doesn't work. That's not what I mean. I just choose. How do I say? People that don't know me won't understand this. I just will not give my power, or my power of being. I haven't yet needed to hand that over to somebody.
You empower yourself.
Yeah, and I'm.
Well, trusting somebody else to work with your energy, I mean, I can understand.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
To me, I've never needed it. If I need it, I have a couple places I can go. Don't get me wrong. I've just never needed to, and I probably never will. But that's me.
You don't. I don't think you need to explain. Yeah. That's just something you're not comfortable with. Enough said.
Same reason I don't get readings. Yeah. I don't get readings. That's me. It's just, this is me. This is my wall. I respect what you do, but this is me, and I'm gonna stay here, and you stay there, and you know, no disrespect meant. It's just I can't hand my power to somebody.
Everybody has their own beliefs, and there's nothing wrong with that.
And that's why I have spent most of my life blocking out reading people, because I believe that everybody should have boundaries. And just because I can read them doesn't mean I should. And I don't think it's okay just to read everybody.
No, I have
without their permission is fucked up.
I have an issue, and anybody that has even heard me on air once probably knows. I have an issue with giving somebody a reading without permission. Big time. Mm-hmm. It's not okay. And
I figure
not only is it not okay, I think it can be a false reading if you don't have their permission. Because things get all mumbled up in the cross over to people. And
I figure if I'm getting information that I wasn't given permission by the person to get, that's my guides just saying, hey, we just need you to know. You know, because my guides obviously know that I'm not going to blab my mouth and go tell anybody's, you know what I mean? That's because they know I know that's not my place.
Yeah. I don't even think, I think spirit guides should mind their own business too. That's me. I mean, sorry. That's just who I am.
One of those.
It's never been a secret. Like,
unless you have permission to read somebody's energy, it's like reading somebody's diary.
Yeah.
Worse.
To me, that's Oh, I mean, because that's, you know, a diary is like your own personal thoughts and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing. There are some things you keep to yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I love the readings that start off with, okay, you asked me for a reading, but now you need to say your first and last name. Some spell it, some say other things. You know, it's like given full permission, because let me tell you, you come to me and try to read me, ask Jen, friend or not, you're not going to like my reply.
Probably not.
Yeah. I just, you know, if my dead father is standing next to me, it's none of your effing business. Sorry. I don't want to know. That's who I am. So, you know, but Jen knows me enough. Jen has never said that. Let me make that clear. I just meant she just knows how I stand. She's never done that. Let me make that very clear to people in chat.
I harass Shay all the time. All the time.
But you knew up front. You know, that this is what I believe. I don't want this, and you know, so. But let me tell you, because even for a non-psychic,
I respect it.
I'm easy to read by my facial expressions, by my tone. You don't have to be a psychic to figure that part out. You know, so I respect you. Your gifts are great. Respect me. I don't want to enjoy your gifts. You know?
She wants to enjoy my other gifts.
Well, those gifts, maybe. No, I'm kidding.
Bon chicka wah wah.
Kidding. I thought I was behaving so well up till that point, and I'm trying so hard. So hard.
So I don't know. Did anybody have? I mean, we've had a lot of great comments in chat, lots of feedback, but I don't see any questions.
No. Nicole says it's an invasion of privacy. Yeah, if they don't have permission, it is absolutely 1,000% an invasion of privacy. I agree. Matt says, the one thing I find difficult, I read people's emotions and energy hardcore. I used to go up to Kerry all the time. We work together because of... Okay, so until you control it, you can't help if you can read their emotions, which is what I was getting at. My emotions are easy to read. I don't hide them. That's different. I'm talking about...
Talking to the dead people.
Yeah.
Or personal diary stuff. Just asking somebody if they're okay is fine.
Yeah.
You don't need to go say, I'm reading your emotions. You can just say, hey, you doing okay today?
Matt knows me well enough.
I can walk up to a stranger in Walmart, like stand next to him in a cart, and I know it, like, you know, they're in a bad mood. Nothing I can do about that, but I'm not, if I was a medium, I might be like, hey. I shouldn't say that. I'm not a medium because maybe after all, that spirit's saying something different. I'm just saying for me. Have you guys seen?
Shay feels very strongly about this.
I do. Are you surprised?
I'm not. I know.
I know too.
I blocked people for it. I mean, I don't. If I tell you once, don't read me. And by read, again, especially if you close somebody, you can tell what they're feeling. Don't keep coming at me with this dead relatives next to you. If I don't want to know, don't tell me. It's not your place.
Yeah.
It's not your place.
Yeah. Mm-mm. And I'm sorry. I love quite a few. No, I take that back. I love a few psychics. And
Me and Kelly.
They understand that. And it's not like the first time I'm like, F you. This is something that they know. These are my boundaries. Don't cross them.
Yeah.
So. Now everybody's quiet. They don't know where to go.
I know. I've been trying to change the subject, but Shay just keeps going.
Do you know why?
Because I want to tease you.
Me all the time.
Do they really?
Yeah. Well, not all the time. I shouldn't say that. Maybe once a month.
Frequently?
Every 2 months, every month. It too frequently. Some Joe Schmo that doesn't know me has a message from my dead mother. My fucking mother's alive. Leave me alone. So it does bother me.
That would bother me. Yeah.
Oh, Kelly, you're not afraid. Kelly's saying we're all scared of Shay. No, you're not. But yeah.
Yeah. So, I figured she had a reason that was important. She needed to say this, and I was going to let her say it and then try and change the subject. But she needed to talk about it a little bit more, so we're still talking about it. Because we love her. We support you, Shay. We support you.
Every once in a while, I need to approach a subject and let people know that just because you listen to the show or you're on one of our pages, you still don't have the right to message me with my dead mother's message when my mother's alive.
Yeah, that's messed up.
I'm more afraid of the true readings than I am of the fake ones, to be honest, but you get the point.
Yep.
So. All right. Go ahead, Jen. Go ahead, Jen. Change the subject. And
well, I just was wondering if
new listeners.
I was wondering if anybody had any questions for Kerry, but I mean, she's been really great with her descriptions and talking about it all. I also wanted to remind people that if you ever feel as though that you are in a crisis, that you can text the number 4 HOPE to 741-741. This is a professional crisis line. We are not affiliated with it, but Shay and I both are strong believers in letting everybody know that you are not alone. So you can text again, that's the number 4 and then the word HOPE to 741-741.
Thank you for doing that.
Yes.
Of course.
I appreciate it. Every week she picks a different number for us, and I strongly appreciate it.
As do I, actually, and Shay knows why.
Yeah. Last week we did the which one did we do? Actually, I can't say which one we did last week, but we've done the lesbian one, the gay one, we've done the soldier one, we've done I know, now I'm gonna get backlash because I said lesbian.
Oh,
there's
big
different
deal.
ones. We share them all. It doesn't matter.
Last week we did the National Eating Disorder Association.
That's the one we did. Thank you. Yes. So
and
we also share them on the page and.
LGBTQ community. We do. We like to share their information and as well as veterans and all of that because. We feel it's important. We just want everybody to know. And we even give out information for bilingual lines. Yep.
I know I don't word things well, but we've done at least me on my page, I've done the different for individuals too, is what I meant. Some are for soldiers, some are for their spouses, some are for their children.
I can. You want me to give all the numbers? I'll give all the numbers.
No, that will take all the numbers we have and share. No, that will take too long. We can share them on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. That's no problem. But,
so before we wrap this up, I do have one last question.
Go ahead.
Kerry,
Yes.
Shay had mentioned in the beginning of the show that you guys had been getting together and that you'll be getting together on Tuesday to discuss places you want to go. So let me ask you I know this is silly, but we got to hear it. What is on your bucket list for places to investigate?
Well, I've done the asylum. I want to do on my bucket list. I want to do a jail. I've done Rutland, so that's it's sort of. But I want to do an actual jail. There's a few of them on my list, but maybe a little while before I get to those. I actually would love to do a haunted school. There's a few of them out there, and that's on the bucket list. So I've got quite a few that I'd like to do. Some of them will probably be a lot of travel.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, not so many around here. And the haunted school that's around here, and Matt knows about this one because we've tried forever to get into it, was the old Epsom schoolhouse. And we just can't. And allegedly, the ghosts are gone now, apparently. At least there's a big sign on the building. The ghosts are gone.
Yeah. They have a big sign on their front lawn, yeah. The ghosts are gone, go away.
Basically. And I'm like, the ghosts aren't gone. They're still here. And we've tried to get in touch with the owner. It's a small one-room schoolhouse that we've wanted to investigate, and it's right outside of Bear Brook. So the energy there we know is crazy.
I had a cousin who lived in a one-room schoolhouse. It was originally a one-room schoolhouse in the middle of a little town in Oklahoma that was turned into a home. And I remember going there as a 21-year-old and just thinking, what is going on here? It just feels, and we're standing there in the kitchen, and finally I just blurred out, I'm like, what was this place? Mind you, I just left it at that because these are extremely religious people, but I just was like, what is going on? It's just weird here. So that, I think that going to school, I'm sure Benji would take you both to rah, 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 rah.
I've been invited to a few different schoolhouses. It's just a matter of not right now.
Yeah, that's
I
one
take
of those.
offense to the extremely religious people that you can be religious and believe in ghosts. So
yes, you can.
Not my family.
Yeah. Well, that's individually. That has nothing to do with religion.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind investing. Oh, another one I know. I'd love to do a train station. I know me and Nicole have talked about haunted train stations, so that's on the list too.
Yep. Yeah.
Do you think that that's more residual just because of all the constant, hubbub and traffic of people coming in?
I don't think you can say. Each
until we actually do
different.
it. Yeah, every place is different. You never know.
You can't say. Until you investigate, you can't say one way or the other.
Yeah, you're not going to know. Yeah.
Yeah. My belief, sorry.
No, that's mine too, because you don't know until you actually go and investigate it, because it could be something completely different.
Yeah.
And some of them could be residual, but it could be that was a place where somebody was happy and that's where they wanted to be in death. Yeah. You don't know until you're there.
Yeah.
That's like, why would people have stayed in the asylum? Why would there still be spirits there? That would be the last place I'd want to go, but if it was the only place they knew, then...
my opinion, again, my measly opinion, could be the only place they knew. It can have spiritual meaning for them. It can have emotional meaning for them. They could have died tragically. It could have nothing to do with the place that's there now. It could have to do with the land. It could just be that they traveled on in. You can't make judgment calls. You can't make judgment calls until
you actually go, because there's so many reasons.
Yeah,
I agree. And you're not going to know till you're there.
Yep.
Well, that's a good answer.
Hey, we know this. We know there's a ghost haunting the Best Buy in Manchester, so we know it's connected to the land. So work the overnights at Best Buy in the mall, and you'll find out.
Exactly. I forgot it could have been their happy. That's what I meant by emotional. It could be
their happy place.
It could be their saddest place. It could be anything. Yeah.
Exactly.
Or they could just be passing through.
Yep. So I want to, first of all, thank you to everybody that has stayed this long, because this is close to the longest Skeptic and the Psychic we've ever had. It's about, we've been on air for almost 2 hours. Yeah. So let's see. Why don't you, if we get any more last minute questions, throw them in chat real quick here. Kerry, why don't you throw out your social media, your team page, your page, anything you want shared? Let us know.
We're on, well, I know Matt's working on our YouTube page, which,
nice.
He's definitely getting that done. We got some stuff to do. I'm on Instagram under my name, and I don't know if we set up Instagram or not. Matt would know the answer to that question, because he does all that for me. Yeah. Team page would be Spirit Trackers, or even my name. I post a lot of our stuff on my page, my personal page as well. So, but we're trying to get more stuff on the page, and hopefully as we get into investigation season, there'll be a lot more, and I can't wait. I need to go out and investigate. The last investigation was with you guys in Westboro, and that was right before I started overnight. So,
yeah, that was a while ago.
Well, Shay, you tagged Kerry on our Instagram post. It looks like it's at KEJAMIAN.
Yep. It's a unique name.
That's why I love Jen. She's so on things.
That's my dad came up with that before he passed away, so I've always kept that as my tag for pretty much everything. So
it is not the Spirit Trackers team.
No, I post a lot of that on,
because there is one of those, but I believe that's in a different area. Just so listeners know, that's not the same Spirit Trackers. There's multiple out there.
Okay, yeah, Matt said it's a work in progress. The Facebook page, Spirit Trackers, he's working on YouTube and the Instagram for us very soon.
Yeah,
I knew he was on top of things.
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah. So, upcoming shows. I have to, Kelly, if you're listening, Jen, since you guys are on with me every week, Kelly will be on as much as possible. I need to start doing this. Our schedule's changing. So, upcoming shows. Tomorrow is B Squared, Magic Monday, Paranormal Comedy Show. Benji and Brittany, of course. Awesome show. It's actually my favorite show ever. And I don't just say that because I don't just say it because they're on this network. It's always been that way.
Yeah, they're so funny.
Yeah, they are. They're great. So, and then there's no shows till Friday. Kelly and I have Mr. Ken Boggle on. So, that should be very fun. Yeah, it will be great. And, of course, here we get to the hard stuff. Give me a second. I gotta turn the page here. So, Into the Abyss with Peggy Gypsy will be back on, I think it's the 9th. Is it the 9th? I have so many calendar pages tagged here. I should have.
Saturday, February 9th.
Oh, let's see. It is a Saturday, but I'm trying to figure out. That's March. Why is February? Here we go. Saturday the 9th. Peggy Gypsy's show will be back, Into the Abyss. And February 21st. It's a Thursday. REP Paranormal and Friends with Kim Purvis. Allison Robinson and their group is going to premiere. So
what time is that?
All right, sorry. Peggy is on at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, 6 Pacific. That will be on Saturdays. She's going to build up a little bit, but the next one's not until February 9th. REP, Paranormal and Friends, is Thursdays, starting February 21st. This is all from memory. Lord, help me. Don't let me screw this up. 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. So
5 Pacific Standard Time.
5 Pacific. Hey, I remembered the last one for you.
Yes, you did. Carrie, thank you so much for coming on. I'm sorry, Shay. Did you have more?
Nope.
No, thank you for having me on. This was so much fun.
Well,
I look forward to it all week.
Ghost stories. Yeah, so I could definitely. You can come tell me ghost stories anytime you want.
I love telling the story. So,
hey, Carrie, we'll have to hook up March. I might need fill-in. So, here or there, let me know. I'll get back to you with dates, but on my Friday show, not this one.
Okay, yeah. Fine with me, whatever you need.
As I said the other night, trying to decide if I want to take any time off in March. Oh, thank you.
And I also
show. And you
I want to tell everybody in chat, thank you so much. For those of you that first time in, you're here to support Kerry. Thank you so much. I know I've only spent a few hours with her, but she seems like she's a very genuinely nice and caring person. And she puts up with Shay, so she must be pretty genuine and nice.
Right? Anybody that can put up with Shay more than once. Amen.
Shay puts up with me, too.
Amen. Amen.
There's a reason we get along as well as we do.
Yeah.
So everybody who was in chat, thank you so much. If you decided not to be in chat, that's okay. Thank you so much. And if you weren't able to listen live and you are listening later, thank you so much. And you can find Paranormal Buzz Radio on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter.
And iTunes and Spotify and something else that I'm forgetting. I'm supposed to say this crap in
Amazon,
Alexa
Alexa
and Sonos, and there's a new one too. I don't know. But we're only live on Spreaker. So that I can tell you. We're only live on Spreaker. I'm getting better. Oh, thank you, Kim. Kim, yes. All right, guys. You two hold on. I'm going to mute this and leave before we start talking again. Because you know how
Good night, everyone.
For more information regarding what Paranormal Buzz Radio has to offer, visit our website, paranormalbuzzradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram.